This video is an excerpt from the Matrix Resurrections episode of our weekly podcast, Two Asian Blokes. For the full audio and more content like this, find us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
We have our returning guest.
Yes, excited to welcome back special guest and friend of the show, Boone. Hello, Boone.
G'day, I'm back.
Boone is here to help us with our martial artist battle royale, or Hunger Games, if you will. We're going to talk about 4 of our favorite martial artists. We're going to decide on their most powerful character. So not the best movie, necessarily, but their most powerful character that they've put to screen. Then we're going to put those 4 characters into a ring, and who comes out on top. We got 4 martial artists here, 4 of the best. We got Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Iko Uwais, and Tony Jaa. So, before we do that, actually, we should probably lay the ground rules for this contest. So, human characters only. So, for example, Jet Li has played...
Jet Li was for the Monkey King.
Yeah,
once.
He played the Monkey King in that terrible movie with one excellent fight scene. So he wouldn't count.
Oh, yeah, Forbidden Kingdom.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, Jackie Chan's also played a monkey in Kung Fu Panda. So,
yeah.
So yeah, those wouldn't count. Human characters only. How do you guys feel about weapons and tools? Should they be allowed to bring in a weapon if their character is synonymous with a weapon or tool?
Yeah, I think, you know what? Probably not, because some of these characters are synonymous for using just their limbs. So it would be a little bit unfair.
For example, Jackie Chan's character in Drunken Master, should he be allowed to have some alcohol with him?
True.
Because he gets more powerful when he has a drink.
I think.
I mean, if you pick that character, yeah,
I think that's okay. It's kind of
Should his character in the tuxedo bring his tuxedo?
Walter Strider.
Because without it, he's just a taxi driver.
Yes, it's true.
Who is unlucky in love, you know?
Yeah, no.
Not much of a threat.
I feel like if it's a true battle royale situation, you've got to be by yourself, right?
Okay, fists alone then.
Yeah.
I'd say fists alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
So no rope around the fist for Tony Jaa then.
Yeah. I mean, like, come on, like the rope around the fist is just like aesthetic.
Yeah. Is that an advantage? I feel like that would soften your blows, if anything.
It's actually there to stop you from breaking your own hand.
Okay.
Because like it's like you don't wear boxing gloves to
Right.
Well, the purpose of boxing gloves is to not break your own hand and to not cut the other person.
Sure.
So so I guess.
So Tony Jaa, who's used to fighting with these ropes, he's just going to break his hand immediately in this battle royale. It's going to be out of it. All right, well, and big man. We'll get to him.
I'd just put Tony Jaa on the bottom because it was in Monster Hunter.
That's not fair.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I haven't seen it on your advice. So.
My criteria are probably more what movies these actors made. And Tony Jaa was in Monster Hunter and that other really rubbish movie that we watched then.
Triple X?
Oh, yeah.
No, not Triple X. Jiu-Jitsu.
Jiu-Jitsu, yeah. Jiu-Jitsu.
He's also been in one of the Fast and Furious movies.
Well, how about we start with Tony Jaa, since we're on Tony Jaa, actually.
Oh, yep, for sure.
Yeah.
So, he was in Triple X. His character was Talon. He was in Furious 7. His character's name is Kiet. He fights, I think he fights
Paul Walker?
What's his name?
No, Vin Diesel.
Yeah, Paul Walker.
Yeah, Paul Walker
in a truck.
In a truck, yep, I remember that.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know. You're going to have to run the reins on this one.
Yeah.
He's in Jiu-Jitsu, like Tavi mentioned, that terrible Nicolas Cage. It's not even a Nicolas Cage film. It's got Nicolas Cage in it, but it's just a B movie.
We're talking about like these actors in their prime, yeah. Obviously, we're not going to say if they fought each other now.
Sure.
So
the characters themselves. So if the character is old, then we have to take that character's age into account if they're an old character.
So we're talking about like Jet Li pre-Mulan, yeah.
Well, I don't think the Emperor from Mulan is much of a fighter.
Fuck. He's the Emperor. Oh my god, I forgot about that. Totally.
Yeah.
They dubbed him too. I'm pretty sure they dubbed him. I was like, man, the guy can speak English.
I haven't seen it. Looks bad though.
It's one of the. We'll save it for another
worst
time.
movie last year.
Yeah.
We could do a whole podcast on that one.
So of course Tony Jaa's also got Ong Bak, the movie that shot him into stardom.
Can we just give Ong Bak some love? For the time being.
It's such a good movie.
Ong Bak is amazing.
Yeah,
It launched Tony Jaa's career, but it also served to launch Muay Thai into the public eye, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, in a way. I mean, the thing it did was it did launch Muay Thai into, I guess, the public eye, but at the same time, there's kind of been not really that many Muay Thai based martial art movies since then because they couldn't find somebody as good as Tony Jaa. I'm guessing a lot of these film producers and stuff like that.
There's one other Muay Thai movie called Chocolate.
I remember that. Yeah,
that one's really good.
That was directed by Tony Jaa's mentor. Yeah.
The same director as Ong Bak.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're both just as good.
Panariti Krai.
Yeah. I like the story better in Chocolate because there's more of a story, whereas Ong Bak is basically a show. There's a plot. It's like, I gotta find the Buddha head.
Sure. But it's basically just to showcase Tony Jaa's skills,
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely a great showcase, man. And especially when you and I were talking about like looking for representation on screen for us, Dan. Like Ong Bak was a source of pride for us because we're like, I've got a bit of Thai blood in me. Like, you guys are like.
I have no Thai in me, but we're close enough.
You just latch on to Thai stuff.
Lao people are Thai people that can't kickbox.
We just debt food all day long.
But yeah, Ong Bak was a great source of pride. Like, man, this stuff's coming out of Thailand. It's
for sure.
It's cool.
It's such a fun movie as well to watch.
Yeah,
like
that's the thing though. Like it was sort of like that crossover, right? Like because it was quite like violence, and like the fight scenes were like everything looked super painful in the fight scenes. But at the same time,
very different to the kung fu, like Chinese kung fu films.
But it also had that classic Jackie Chan kind of vibe where there's also stunts and like getaway scenes
shenanigans
and like slapstick humor.
A comedic character.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So like, it was the same but different. I think that's a lot of the reason why it's got such a cult following because it does have a lot of those classic martial arts movie tropes, but it's Muay Thai, and that was something like completely different because we've obviously like Hollywood, and most people have probably seen heaps of like kung fu up to that point.
Was Muay Thai big in MMA at that time?
Well, yeah, I guess Muay Thai is one of the, Muay Thai / kickboxing is one of the like core disciplines in mixed martial arts, even to this day. Yeah, I think it's considered the most kind of like effective form of striking for like real fighting. So I think that was why it was kind of cool to see, Tony Jaa doing his thing in Ong Bak and in other films because people know that Muay Thai is like has got real world applicability in terms of like being able to fuck somebody up, but he brought this element of showmanship to Muay Thai and it was also very like funny as well. I think that's
disrespectful kicks that big man in the face, that big Aussie guy.
Yes. This is kind of ties into like that thing where there's always like a Caucasian person that's like overly Caucasian, like hyper Caucasian.
Fuck Muay Thai.
Have you guys seen Tom Yum Goong 2?
Oh yeah.
Tom Yum Goong 2, or I guess it's called The Protector 2. It's got RZA in it, and he has a fight scene with Tony Jaa, and it's pretty bad. It's like, it's such a shame because like they're like on these train tracks and they've got something attached to their arm, so when they miss and strike, they hit the train tracks and like makes a sparking noise, and it sounds like a lightsaber. And it was just like, it just fell apart, and it was such a shame.
I feel bad for the RZA because he's obviously a huge martial arts fan, but I can never take him seriously in a martial arts role. It just looks bad.
He's not a great actor. To be honest, he's not.
For me, the kind of the sad part about Tony Jaa is that like when did Ong Bak come out? Like early 2000s, right? Like that was like meant to kind of like shoot him into like this martial arts superstardom, but he's always kind of just since played like, I don't know, like token / cameo role since then.
Well, he's kind of like segued into the Hong Kong and Hollywood, movie industry. So he's doing okay now, I feel like he was in Monster Hunter. So he can't be doing that bad.
I mean, like...
He was in Jiu-Jitsu, right?
At the same time, these are like pretty like shitty movies, right? It's like...
But they're shitty American movies.
Yeah.
So in terms of characters that we're going to put in this Battle Royale, you reckon his character in Ong Bak seems the freshest and most spry?
I mean,
I reckon his character in Tom Yum Goong is stronger.
Tom Yum Goong.
There's a bit more rage.
I feel like they're quite interchangeable, but like, I mean, like, in his good movies, he's always just like brooding, kind of quiet guy that's like really good at Muay Thai. They're more or less the same
let's
character.
give it to Tom Yum Goong then, because he's fighting for an elephant rather than a Buddha head. So he's probably emotionally going to make you a bit stronger. So that character is calm. I'll put that down for Tony Jaa. All right, let's talk about Jackie Chan next, shall we?
Here we go.
So he's got so many
Where
characters.
can we get started?
I know, man.
Do you think it is Jimmy Tong from the Tuxedo? Do you think
Walter Strider?
What a movie! He's got so many good characters. There's. I don't know where to start. Inspector Lee from the Rush Hour franchise.
Yes.
More recent films, he's got Mr. Han from The Karate Kid. He's got the Viet guy from The Foreigner.
He's Vietnam?
I think he's Viet.
No, he's Chinese, man.
His name is Ngoc Min.
Oh yeah.
Quan Ngoc Min.
That's pretty Viet.
I pretty much that was like the most forgettable movie of that year, unfortunately. Because I remember we saw the trailers for it, the Foreigner.
Oh, yep, the Foreigner.
And we're like, this looks awesome.
I thought it was going to be Taken with Jackie Chan.
Yeah, it was actually really bad.
But it wasn't.
And it had Pierce Brosnan as well, who's also like got like, I don't know, cool factor.
I think Jackie Chan movies aren't violent. He's not violent enough to do that kind of movie. Because he does a lot of his very typical like Jackie Chan kind of stuff in that movie, like a lot of getting away from fights as opposed to
like
actually fighting,
as opposed to like
so he doesn't
brutally murdering somebody.
And his particular style of martial arts is not really suited to extreme violence, I think.
That's the it's kind of the kung fu-y kind of way, right? It's more kind of like performance based,
because he's very performance
with Jackie Chan. And what catapulted him into stardom was like the stunts, like the sheer insanity of the stunts. Like this guy's got fucking huge ass nuts to be doing like some of the stuff that he was doing. And like obviously a lot of Hollywood actors weren't willing to like do the shit that he was doing in those early movies.
Well, still aren't.
Except CGI Tom Cruise.
He's crazy, that bloke.
That guy's that guy's crazy, man.
If he's not dead already, I feel like he wants to die at this point.
Yeah, it's true.
Jackie Chan, just as a showman, like as a comedic actor and a martial artist, he's like number one, man.
Yeah.
Even in his more recent films like Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights, like... Yeah, there's a lot of...
Recent as in like 20 years ago.
Oh my God, yeah, they were 20 years ago, weren't they?
Yeah.
Shanghai Noon is 99 or 2001.
peak Owen Wilson as well.
Yeah.
Shanghai Nights, which is one of my favorite Jackie Chan Hollywood movies, man.
It's good. It's underrated.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's an
Me
underrated
and you,
sequel.
Dan, we have quoted that movie in our lifetime so many times.
Yeah.
And
It's a good film.
It's great.
It's got Littlefinger in it.
Oh yeah, it does.
A lot of like these Jackie Chan movies, right? Like it's hard to kind of gauge like who is the most badass because his skill set is like pretty much the same in a lot of these movies.
Yeah,
he's just
yeah,
like
true.
he's kind of like just this Asian guy who can fight really good. Yeah, in the Hollywood ones anyway.
But kind of doesn't want any trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Like
I think that's what would let him down in the battle royale is his conviction to kill, because he doesn't want no trouble.
Yeah,
he's always like he's always looking for who killed his uncle, man. He's like, kill my uncle.
That's true.
Like,
Well, I guess the foreigner, he kind of has a lot of rage because, they killed his daughter.
yeah.
But yeah,
in The Foreigner, he's like like Chinese,
some
like,
kind of spy.
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is.
I don't remember.
But he's old.
Yeah,
he's old.
he's
so
old.
it's
So,
probably not as effective of a fighter.
I mean, like, for me, like, the most memorable, like, fight scenes with Jackie Chan were probably from Who Am I?
Oh yeah.
yeah, me too.
Yeah. When
Yeah, he has that fight scene on the rooftop.
yeah, against the punching guy and the kicking guy.
Yeah.
Which is, like,
some of the most hilarious dubbing I've ever seen as well in that film.
Go down the car park, man.
And like stunt doubling as well.
Yes, the stunt dubbing. Yeah, cool, for sure.
I remember like there's one point where he like sweeps the antagonist.
Yes.
And like the antagonist does like this spinning fall.
And it's like an Asian guy.
It's clearly an Asian guy.
It's an Asian guy, even though he's like a white guy in the movie.
Yeah. I remember we were at your place then, and we like paused it and went frame by frame.
Yeah, it's good. But that I'm glad you brought up Who Am I, because that guy, the kicking guy that he fights on the rooftop. Jackie Chan actually like roasts him in that documentary he did.
Oh, really?
My Stunts, yeah, because apparently that guy, like, he is a really good martial artist, but he hadn't done film before.
Oh, right. Okay.
So he had a lot of trouble like following the fight scene choreography. So for a lot of it, like you might notice it on a rewatch, Jackie's stunt guy Brad Allen has to double that guy a lot, and Brad Allen is much shorter than the kicking guy.
Okay.
Yeah, Brad Allen's been a lot of the movies. Yeah.
He actually passed away this year,
Oh,
which
shit.
is sad.
Oh, really? Are you serious? Brad Allen passed away.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I did not know that at all.
Yeah.
Damn, man. Like, rest in peace. That's because I remember him in the final fight scene of Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And like he is kind of like a comical. Really? What? How did he pass away? Like,
Unspecified illness. He's pretty young, like mid 40s or something. So
fuck, man. That's sad. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's tragic.
damn. That's man.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, I don't know. Like, I guess picking a Jackie Chan character for this battle royale is super hard, as I mentioned, because they're all very much the same, aren't they?
Well, his
Yeah.
character in Who Am I is also an ex-spy, special forces guy.
that's true,
So
yeah.
maybe, and he has amnesia.
Yes.
I don't know if that helps.
Yeah. He won't. Those two guys
So-
that he fights on the rooftop are like clearly quite badass, and he wins.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah, he fights
me,
them two on one.
that's the memorable one for me. But I don't know.
I
like,
mean, the drunken fist guy.
But if he doesn't have alcohol, he's not very useful.
Yeah, not as effective.
That's his. Yeah. But even just thinking about his other movies, like the Police Story movies and the Project A movies.
Wheels in Meals is really good.
Yeah, Wheels on
He
Meals.
fight Benny the Jet in that film.
yes,
Excellent fight
of course,
scene.
yeah. That's what I mean. He's got so many like sick movies, right? It's so hard to kind of narrow it
So
down.
should we give it to his character in Around the World in 80 Days?
Let's just put him from Who Am I?
Who Am I? So no name from Who Am I? We'll give that.
Yeah, it's just,
we'll give him that.
isn't he just Jackie? He's like, Jackie. No, so he finds out that his name is Jackie. So he's basically just Jackie Chan.
He's himself. Well, if you're Chris Tucker, he's also Jackie in every movie. Hey, Jackie, kick down the door,
His name's
Jackie.
Lee, goddammit.
Yes, Chris Tucker. You're wasting our film. Anyways.
All right, so we're giving that to No Name from Who Am I? Okay,
Yes.
let's talk about Iko Uwais next then, shall
Yep.
we? So he's got fewer roles, being, relatively
Pretty new.
newer
Yeah.
on the scene compared to Jackie Chan or Jet Li or even Tony Jaa. For people that don't know Iko Uwais, Indonesian actor and expert in silat, right? Mm-hmm. You probably know him from the Raid films, which are excellent. If you haven't watched The Raid and The Raid 2,
Yeah, man.
you should.
The first time I cried in the cinema was during the Raid
Yes,
2.
I was
When
there.
the guy's face got smushed on the concrete.
I was there.
It's beautiful. The violence was beautiful. Like, it made me cry.
Yeah.
I guess Gareth Evans, the director of the Raid movies, he talked about a lot of moments in those films where there are these kind of extremely gratuitously violent moments where it's kind of like a moment of relief. It's kind of like a moment of tension. Like in the Raid 2 when Iko Uwais like kicks the dude in the face and it hits the concrete and it's like blah! You see his face like it was really funny.
It is funny. Yeah, the whole cinema reacts
Yeah.
when like something violent like that happens
Yeah.
on screen that you like
Yeah.
kind of expect because you know this is a violent movie, but it's just so fucking over the top violent and that it's somewhat comedic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that different from the way like Tarantino uses violence as.
Oh,
like,
yeah, totally, yes,
but just
exactly.
at
That's
a
it.
much faster pace, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's very similar, like in the sense that it's so over the top that it's not believable, but very funny at the same time. Yeah, very funny. But yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't seen those films,
Yeah.
you would have seen him in The Force Awakens. He plays a random space bandit that boards the Millennium
Yeah.
Falcon at some point. What a waste of the Raid cast.
you had Mad Dog and Iko Uwais or Rama in like a Star Wars movie and you didn't do jack shit with them. That's a crime, man.
Yeah. They could have used anyone.
Yeah, Iko Uwais hasn't been in too much. His debut was Merantau, which was pretty good.
Was that directed by the same director as The Raid?
Yeah, Gareth
Yes,
Evans.
it was
yeah.
Gareth.
Oh, was it?
It was like his first martial arts
Yeah.
movie. Yeah,
Okay.
it was okay.
That was kind of a showcase for Iko Uwais' skills as well, right?
Yeah.
Like, similar to how Ong Bak was for Tony Jaa.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
like,
It's also got like really unlikable white guys in it.
yeah, yes.
Yeah, it does,
I mean,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
with a lot of these martial art, well, even like if you look at the Ip Man movies, like there's like heaps of unlikable like foreigners in those movies.
Yeah.
It's just essential. Well,
And he was also in what other movie? He was in obviously the Raid movies. He was in Headshot, which was all right. And he plays a villain in the Night Comes for Us.
on Netflix, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
watch it. It's awesome. Watch it
It's
for.
so gross.
It's it's the most violent movie I've ever seen, and it's fantastic.
Yep.
It's like
It's
it's an action film, but it's got the violence of like a Saw film.
a horror.
You know, like it's really hard to watch. I found. Like,
Oh yeah,
Yes,
yeah. It really plays on that like it's so violent that it's borderline comedic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of the time, like it's like, oh, he's not gonna do that, is he? And then he does it. He saws the guy's like hand off with like a
He goes
butcher's
with
saw.
a bone saw.
So there's a lot of like really like
and
crazy
it's
shit.
so gross looking, and like even the sets are all really dirty and grimy.
Yeah.
It's actually like
yeah.
it's a great film.
It is really
Yeah,
good.
it really is.
It kind of makes me feel like it's the Raid if it didn't care about making money.
Yeah. I mean, it's got Iko and Joe Taslim in it again. So like two of the main characters from the Raid.
with an awesome final battle.
Yes, yes.
Where it's just you just hear all the sound design with the things piercing their bodies, and it's just
culminates in Joe Taslim getting his face stabbed and
from the
Iko Uwais
inside.
Oh, it's so nasty.
Yeah.
But I like how their kind of roles are switched up a bit. Like
Yes.
it was kind of odd seeing Iko Uwais play a bad guy.
I mean,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
He's a bad
Yeah.
guy, but he's
not completely bad.
It's kind of like an anti-hero type character because like he used to be like part of their crew, yeah, and he's like broken off into like to work with like the mafia or whatever it is, or like the triads.
Yeah.
But it's like he still has a part of him that like, you know, cares for his homies, but he wants to get paid.
But his demeanor is quite smarmy, and you know, like he's always wearing a suit.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch.
It's very fun and very easy to watch. It's also very comic booky in a way because there's a lot of characters that are like there's like the two female characters are very comic booky in the way that they're kind of
one has like a yo-yo with like a steel wire.
Even the good, I forget her name, the girl that
Julie Estelle.
that's her.
Her character doesn't have a name. She's just called the Operator. Apparently they're making a sequel.
Oh, for
with
real?
Her character.
No, that's good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's like a spin-off. Yeah, so more ultra violence. But for people that might want to watch something a little less violent, but still pretty damn violent, is the Raid 2. Like, the Raid 2 really is like a masterpiece of action cinema. It has everything that I like about action cinema. It's got that really strong Hong Kong cinema feel. Like, the cinematography is awesome. Just the expansion of the story and like the story of betrayal and whatnot. It's great.
A lot of comic book elements in that as well.
A lot of
It's fun.
Sick movie. Like, it's the first time I cried in a cinema. Was the Raid 2.
I was there. Yeah.
Do you think Iko Uwais's character Rama is stronger in the first film or in the second film?
Yeah, he's got rage in the second film, right? Because he's been
in prison
He's
in the
been in
second
prison.
film.
He's been away from his like family and shit.
You'd think he'd be stronger in the second film if you go by narrative progression. You don't really go back.
Yeah, I would say so.
Fights that guy in the last final, which is like one of my favorite one-on-one fight scenes of all time.
Yes.
Sick.
Yes.
I remember when we watched the trailer, Tavi, before it came out, and they do that little shuffle move.
Oh yeah. And then when I come to visit you in Japan, we kept like every time we got really drunk, we'd always like shuffle to each other, like pretending to fight each other. Oh man, the Raid 2's so good.
So should we give it to Rama?
Yeah, let's jump in Rama.
It should be Rama.
It's his marquee, like quintessential character, really.
The Raid. Such a good movie.
Tavi's like tearing up again, man.
Yeah. It's not because of my eye surgery, it's because it's the Raid. It's just the memories, man.
Some people,
It's
that's the thing,
sick
some
shit.
people will never understand, right?
Yeah, the Raid, man. I still remember the first time you showed me the trailer for the first one.
Where he like,
Fucking awesome.
where he grabs like that goon's head and then like multiply like slams it against the door frame, like downwards. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they released that fight scene first on YouTube
as like a teaser. Yeah.
Ah.
And then I was like, this is gonna be fucking sick. And then we went to like the first screenings, I'm pretty sure, and it was amazing. One of the best movie experiences ever.
Watch it if you haven't.
But before I gush about the Raid 2 too much, I guess we should.
The last fighter is Jet Li. Jet Li's got a lot of characters as well, comparable to Jackie Chan, I reckon.
Yeah, he's got the Emperor in the Mulan remake.
Yeah, let's just chuck the Emperor in. Well, he plays an Emperor in The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Jet Li's been in a lot of like more kind of art housey and serious movies compared to Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
He's definitely less comedic.
Oh yeah, he's not funny.
More
he's not
violent.
funny. Like he's really not.
It's kind of funny.
You think he's funny?
Sometimes funny.
Like in what?
The Expendables.
Oh, yeah, but he's the token Asian guy, right?
I mean, he's trying to be funny.
Yeah.
He's way underutilized. He's like in the Expendables too. He fights some guys with like frying pan.
He's like OP in the Expendables, yeah? In every scene that he's involved in, he just like fucking smokes everybody.
Well, he kind of struggles against Dolph Lundgren.
Oh my god.
In that
His
one-on-one
name in
fight.
the Expendables is Yin Yang. What the fuck? That's fucking bad.
It's 2011, man. So- but I think it's like it's supposed to be like that 90s, 80s cheese, so I don't really mind it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But I just mind that they underutilize him. Like, yeah, in the Expendable 2s, he has a fight scene and then pisses off for the rest of the movie.
He's replaced by a Chinese woman.
Yeah, he's replaced by a Chinese woman. Yeah.
Who is good in that film, but yeah.
Okay. Obviously, like, in this Battle Royale situation, we can't include his character from the one, right?
Well, he is technically human.
Is he human?
Even though he has the strength of 62 Jet Lis, he's technically human.
Yeah, well-
For those of you that haven't seen the one, it's about Jet Li, and in his world there are 124 parallel universes, which is, it's either too few parallel universes or too many.
Yes.
There should be one universe or like infinite universes.
Yep,
there should be 124. But anyway, he the bad Jet Li thinks that if he kills all 123 counterparts,
He inherits their power, yes.
yeah, and he does get stronger with each one he kills. But then at the end there are 2 Jet Lis remaining. So I guess both of them have the strength of 62 Jet Lis.
Pretty much. But one's a fucking asshole and one's a good guy.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's not a great movie, but when I saw it for the first time, I was like, this shit's fucking awesome.
Sure.
Didn't they have like Papa Roach, Last Resort, as like...
They had 2 Papa Roach songs. They had Blood Brothers and Last Resort.
That was like the peak of my new metal phase. So watching like a martial arts movie with Disturbed when it goes, oh wow, and, like the thing explodes. I was like, oh man, this is
It's got its
fucking
moments,
sick.
man. Like the part where he like beats up the cops at the start. I still think that scene holds up. Like,
Oh, there's some pretty. I watched it again a few years back. There's one when he's running, they just like lower the shutter speed. and it looks
A
kinda
lot of
cheap.
it is bad, but that actual scene where he like beats them up in bullet time is quite good.
Yeah.
Still, I think.
Nah, I just like the fight scene when like Blood Brothers comes on. And it's
Jet Li versus Jet Li.
It's just I was awesome because it's so not subtextual at all. It was just awesome. It was just like, man, this is cool.
The thing about Jet Li that sets him apart to me from Jackie Chan in the way, I guess, their careers is that, I guess Jet Li has done a few of these movies, by himself, and they're not funny at all, really. They're just action movies. And he's the main dude.
He's a very skilled martial artist, and he's able to trade on that ability alone. I think.
Yes.
Which
well,
I mean, they play to his strengths. Yeah.
What would you say about his earlier movies? I guess like his most prolific role was like Chen Zhen or Fist of Legend.
well, they're very much like, they're classic kung fu movies. Like fucking Shaolin Temple. That came out in 1982, man. That's wild thinking about that. Before we were born. And like he was amazing in those movies.
Yeah, I remember watching Shaolin Temple at your place, Boom.
Yeah.
And Kids of Shaolin. Yeah, that's good shit. Slice upwards.
They like slice a guy through the dick.
Yeah,
or
he
something.
slices the guy
Like-
through the dick, and then like it just cuts to like the next scene, and they're like happy and shit. It's like the main villain's dead, and he's like he's got no dick, and anyways.
It's I wouldn't know who to pick either. I mean, like you could pick him for the one, but that's just a
I feel like it's a little bit.
he just
The one is a little bit
That's a bit
unfair,
too
but,
OP.
like-
Nobody's bitch.
Bit unfair.
I think my favorite Jet Li movie, Hollywood one, is actually Kiss of the Dragon. And there's an amazing scene in that movie where he beats up like 30 karate guys. Do you guys remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
that
And
scene.
like, and like, he's just some like Chinese like special agent in that movie.
He's got his bracelet of needles.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't use any of those needles in that scene. He like he beats the shit out of all 30 of them. It's very Bruce Lee. Like, it reminds me of the classic Bruce Lee movies. But yeah.
But they are French. So.
Yeah.
Less impressive.
Yeah, they always lose.
Same with Unleashed as well, or Danny the Dog.
Unleashed is amazing.
Oh,
I like that film.
Yes.
Oh, completely forgot. Danny
Luke
the
Besson.
Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that movie, man.
I want a piano.
Oh, I want a piano. Holy shit, man, dude, you've completely reminded me.
That's got some amazing fight scenes.
It
as well.
does.
Yeah, it does.
The one where he fights that bald guy in the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's
Fucking
really good.
hell, dude! This is a blast from the past. I completely forgot about this movie. But like,
He's actually quite a strong contender for this battle royale.
Yeah,
He's got that feral, animalistic side.
it definitely brought a new element of Jet Li to the big screen for sure. In the sense that it's so roughneck, the style that it's so like kind of almost unchoreographed what he's doing. Yeah,
It's a lot of biting and hair pulling and headbutting.
It was directed by Luke Besson, who's like pretty hit or miss.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. It was directed by Luke Besson.
Yeah,
no, sorry.
Did he direct it, or did he just like?
No,
wrote it?
he wrote.
It was some other French dude. I'm just seeing the director of Unleashed. It's Louis Leterrier, who did the Transporter movies and the Clash of the Titan movies.
Okay,
So he's had a hit and miss career.
yeah. Quite like the Transporter films, but yeah, we'll talk about that when Statham is in the battle royale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who the fuck do we pick, man?
Yeah, like Jet Li's also got Nameless from Hero.
He's
Yeah,
got a lot of
Hero.
badass characters.
But I guess without his sword, you wouldn't be as good.
true.
It's got that guy from Fearless.
Yeah.
Fearless is a really good film too.
Rouge Assassin. Sorry, it's Rogue Assassin, people. I'm sorry. That's a very unnecessary in joke involving a friend who consistently pronounced it as Rouge Assassin.
Rouge Assassin.
Anyways, who do we pick?
I reckon we give it to Danny the Dog.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, he's also strong, but not like not 62 Jet Li strong.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna listen to some fucking new metal, man. I'm gonna listen to Blood Brothers.
ow, wah. I love that bit.
Unleash is
It's like, are you ready? Are you?
Yeah, that's
Ow,
it.
wah.
I remember there was a period of time when I was watching any film and then I hear the line, "Are you ready?" I always just keep it and go, "Oh, wow." And it's like, sick. No, mommy, don't hit me again.
Yeah.
I'll be a good boy. I'll be a good boy.
Well, that can be the official soundtrack for the Battle Royale. Whenever we do a Battle Royale episode, we'll just put on Drowning Pool.
No, dude, it's Disturbed, man.
Yeah,
it's Disturbed.
Whatever.
Listen to this dad, this poser guy. Yeah, man. I listen to new metal.
Yeah.
I listen to Panic at the Disco. I listen to Fall Out Boy.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
I love
I've been
new metal.
I think, in all honesty, though, like the Unleashed character is a very good pick because I completely forgot about this movie, but he is a fucking badass in this movie. He pit fights like a bunch of like really badass dudes in this movie and like kills them, right? So yeah, he's clearly quite strong
And a killer. So we've got our four fighters. Yeah, we've got Tony Jaa's character Calm from Tom Yum Goong. We have Jackie Chan's character No Name from Who Am I? We have Iko Uwais' character Rama from The Raid 2. And we've got Danny the Dog from Unleashed. So what have they got going for them? Well, Danny the Dog, as we said, he's quite feral and strong and a killer. Although he's not towards the end.
The movie kind of portrays him as like an animal and like a cold-blooded killer, but he's actually got a conscience.
Yeah.
He's got the mind of a child.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Does that help you in a fight, or does
Well,
that
that's what I was
hinder
going to
you in a
say.
fight?
Like, I was going to say maybe like he has nothing to live for, so he's got the advantage in that sense. But he kind of does. Like, he's got a conscience. He might not want to kill like these other guys.
Rama is fighting for his family.
He's got like very strong survival instincts.
He keeps going, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess he usually has to rely like on a knife in the end. I guess
He's also very like kind of in a bad way in this context. He's like quite plain Jane in that like he's just like a normal dude that's just like a badass.
Yeah.
Like he's just like a Indo Special Forces guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, No Name is a Chinese Special Forces guy, but he's also got amnesia.
He's got an amnesia. Yeah, that's true.
he's got killer instincts though. Like in the raid, he just kills guys like for sure. Like it's his first mission.
Yeah.
But it's kind of
And
more
he just kills
survival
someone.
instincts, right?
Yeah.
Which I guess in this situation, he would be trying to survive an attack from
he-
Danny the dog. So, yeah, he would probably kill him. Tony Jaa's calm. So he as well is kind of just a guy who's looking for his elephant.
He's got survival instincts, but
Yeah.
he kills people's too.
He breaks their legs, right? There's a whole sequence where he just breaks everybody's legs.
Yeah, that's one of the better scenes.
I think the biggest draw to Tony Jaa's character is that he mostly relies on his fists throughout the whole
That's true.
movie.
Doesn't he like use like the elephant tusks to like slice people up?
Just at the end, yeah. When he like fights the three big Aussie dudes, he uses elephant tusks.
Yeah.
But then like everyone else, he basically just uses his like fists.
Well, he does fight multiple people at once, so that kind of helps in a battle royale situation, right? Like facing
well,
multiple
Iko Uwais
opponents.
does that too.
He does, yeah, that's true. But what's the biggest threat for him? I guess the biggest threat for him would have been the Hammer Girl and baseball bat guy fight, right?
Yeah.
For Danny the dog, I mean, he fights a bunch of pit fighters. I can't remember if he fights them all at once.
But I think at the end there's a scene where he like
Fights the judo guy. Yeah.
But again, that's just a one-on-one fight.
there's scenes where he like gets unleashed literally in like situations where he needs to kill like a room full of dudes, and he does that like pretty easily.
But they're just kind of gangster guys that don't have any fighting experience.
Yeah, exactly.
The Who Am I guy, he fights the kickboxing guy and the punching guy.
And I
at
feel like he
once.
doesn't really have as much to live for as the other guys. He doesn't know who he is.
Well, he wants to find out who he is.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, it's not really quite the same as, like, your family. And,
It kept Jason Bourne going.
yeah.
I just think his killer instinct is a lot less prominent.
He'd probably be first to die, right? Because of the lack of killer instinct.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Sorry, Jackie.
The Who Am I guy would try to help Danny the dog out and then just get killed instantly.
Yeah.
And then Rama and Kam, seeing this happening, would maybe try to team up against Jet Li.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably.
I think that would make sense.
I feel like Rama likes to work with other people.
Yeah, they're the most technical.
Yes. So I think that's actually what would happen. They'd team up and then they'd kill Jet Li's Danny the dog.
And then they think it's over, but we don't let them leave.
Of course not. But
Until
then
one of
Squid
them
Game
is
style,
alive.
yeah. And then they got to fight each other for the ultimate prize.
Who do you think would be first to turn on the other?
Who's got the bigger physique though?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, what I found quite cool about Iko Uwais's character in, I think it was the Raid. Yeah, it was the Raid 2. He was shirtless in a scene, and he wasn't kind of built as your like traditional, like Hollywood movie star. Like, he wasn't like fucking ripped. And he didn't look like a fucking veiny penis, you know what I mean?
Too much. He's been eating too much meat garang.
No, too much beef rendang.
Whiskey's gonna be like, you fucking racist cunts.
But like, he looks super strong in a realistic sense. Like, whereas like a lot the traditional Hollywood aesthetic is kind of just like super ripped,
Like-
kind of like I don't know, the Bruce Lee.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, so like, whereas Iko in the Raid 2 when he's punching the wall and shit, like in the prison cell, it's like, man, this dude is like, he's got like rage, and he looks like, I don't know, a real human. Like, he doesn't look like someone who's like a superhero, and I found that like pretty cool.
Do you think, in that sense, because his family is still alive and the elephant is already dead in Tom Yum Gook, do you think like it kind of gives him that little extra edge to fight.
Yeah, I guess he's got more to
Yeah.
live for.
I think so.
Than Calm.
I would
Yeah,
say so.
yeah.
And like, I don't know, fuck Muay Thai.
Yeah. So
So this fight goes to Rama. Congratulations, Rama.
And congratulations, Penchak Silat.
Risky will be happy when he edits this.
Yeah.
'cause it's
Indo Pride,
He'll be like, that's
Indo
right.
Pride.
Indo Pride,
know.
man. Man, I want to like make me goreng and watch the Raid 2 now because this movie is
That
sick.
sounds like
got that.
that sounds like a great night in, to be honest.
Yeah, let's wrap this up so we can go watch the raid too.
Yeah, and if you
Yeah.
haven't seen it, download it, stream it.
Watch it.
Just fucking
Do
watch
it.
it
Do
because
it
it's
now.
one of the best action
Yeah, go
movies
watch it.
ever made.
Of all time.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening to this. Do you agree with our picks? do you agree with the ultimate winner? Who would you like to see put in a battle royale situation for future episodes? Let us know. You can get in touch with us at twoasianblokes@gmail.com or join our Facebook group to be part of the conversation. Thank you very much to Boone for joining us.
No worries. Yeah, happy to be here once
Yeah, a
again.
lot of fun.
Yeah. Looking forward to getting $0 in my bank account.
Yeah, your check's in the mail.
You're too kind. You're too kind.
They can look forward to Boone in the eventual K-pop episode.
Oh, yeah.
Which we have in mind.
I haven't agreed to that.
So, yeah.
Pencil it in, Boone.
GG.
We'll be in touch.
All right.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Until next time.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Peace. See you guys.